I am absolutely thrilled to be joined by my next guest. You know him as the CEO of the Toronto International Film Festival. I know him as somebody who's going to be making a lot of dreams come true this fall. Cameron Bailey, thanks for stopping by. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. First of all, I just have to say, we grew up in an era where we saw Michael Jordan play, and he would do these slam dunks, and they would be magnificent. And sometimes you'd say, "Oh my God, that was disgusting," and it wasn't a negative thing; it was just so phenomenal. I
Yeah.
have to tell you, my friend, this lineup for the 2024 Toronto International Film Festival is disgusting, and I mean that in the most positive of ways.
In the best
This
way.
in the absolute best way. This lineup is ridiculous. This lineup, if this lineup had a tagline, it would be "In case you forgot," because you guys have come to the table this year and it is just ridiculous. I sent out a tweet a couple of weeks ago, something, oh, sorry, I should say about last week, something to the effect of, hey, me before the schedule came out. Hey, I'll probably see 3 films a day. Me after the schedule came out. Well, I guess I'll sleep in October. It's just ridiculous. So, first and foremost, congratulations on the lineup.
Thank you so much. Listen, I'll tell you that the team and I have been working for many months putting this lineup together. We've been seeing films from all over the world. I think we've got movies from 73 countries this year. We've got everything from the biggest star-studded galas to documentaries, experimental films, world cinema, all kinds of great stuff for people. And that's what we try to do. We try to bring the very best to our audience. We know that the Toronto Film Festival audience, wherever people are coming from, is the best film festival audience in the world. So they deserve it.
Absolutely. So normally I ask, and this could take you a while, but I mean normally ask, what are some of the films that people should be excited about? I think the it's pretty much the whole festival, but I'll give you an opportunity to say, like, what are some of the films that you're really excited for audiences to see this September?
Sure. I mean, listen, it really runs the gamut this year. You probably would have noticed it's a big music year this year. So, of course, we've got the world premiere of the new Elton John documentary, Never Too Late, which is co-directed by Elton's husband, David Furnish, who is, of course, from Toronto himself. We also have a Bruce Springsteen documentary that's brand new. We've got a Tegan and Sarah documentary. We've got a Tragically Hip series, which is a phenomenal piece about just the entire career and life of that band. So there's a lot of great music stuff. Of course, the Pharrell Lego biopic, Piece by Piece, Robbie Williams biopic, Better Man. So on the music front, we got a lot going on. And then in addition to that, great filmmakers that have been at our festival before and that audiences will know and love, I think. People like Pedro Almodovar, new film, The Room Next Door. Mike Lee's new film is coming to us as a world premiere. That's called Hard Truths. And that brings them back together with Marianne Jean-Baptiste, who, of course, was his star in Secrets and Lies. And this is an incredible follow-up to that film. Not the same story, but the same pairing. So they're doing great work. The whole Washington family is a part of a film called The Piano Lesson. Denzel Washington has been bringing to the screen the works of the playwright August Wilson. He's done a couple already. And this is another adaptation he's producing, Denzel. His son, Malcolm Washington, directs the film, and his other son, John David Washington, is the star. So we're excited about that as well. Amelia Perez, which was an award winner at the Cannes Film Festival, is coming to North America at our festival. That stars Selena Gomez and Zoe Saldana. It's by Jacques Audiard, one of my favorite French filmmakers. I mean, I could go on and on. Julie Delpy has a new film. So many great filmmakers. Jia Zhangke, the great Chinese filmmaker. I should probably stop, but that's just a taste.
It is just a taste. You're not even you're tipping the iceberg. We've got
Yeah.
we've got Alfonso Cuarón, Francis Ford Coppola, Ron Howard, Marielle Heller, Adam Agoyan, and Damien Chazelle popping by the way. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I have to commend the festival on is your ability to award talent that deserves it, that sometimes might go under the radar with your TIFF Tribute Awards. Again, we've seen names over the years like Jessica Chastain, like Coleman Domingo, Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, these are household names, and especially last year with you had Coleman Domingo in a film that he was nominated for called Rustin. I think he's going to be nominated again for a film that was at TIFF called Sing Sing. I think he was fantastic in that. But I'd like to give you an opportunity to talk about some of the TIFF Tribute Award winners for this year, because I think this is the, if I'm not mistaken, the fifth year, and I could be mistaken on that. But I know for several years the tribute awards have been running, and it's as if it's demonstrating the fact that TIFF really has its finger on the pulse of what's going on in cinema, of course.
Thank you. So this is actually the sixth year of the TIFF Tribute Awards, started in 2019. During the pandemic, we continued with the awards, but it was virtual. But we're fully back ever since then. This is a big year for us. You mentioned some of the people who have been honorees in the past. And this year, the honoree list includes Amy Adams, who is just amazing in Night Bitch, which is the Mariel Heller film that we're premiering. And I think she's going to get a lot of notice for this performance. We've got Jarrell Jerome, who's in a movie called Unstoppable, playing opposite J-Lo, who's been in the news again. And we have, let me see, we have Kate Blanchett, David Cronenberg getting a tribute award as well, the Ebert Director Award, and just a great, great gamut. A few that are still to be announced. I'm not going to spoil those yet,
That's
but
okay.
it's a terrific list, and we're just lining up the presenters as well. That's also a strong list. So I think you're going to see some great names there. Also, it's an opportunity for us to really bring to the fore some emerging filmmakers as well. There's a filmmaker by the name of Durga Chu Bose, who's a Canadian, an author and a filmmaker, and she's getting our Emerging Talent Award for a film called Bonjour Tristesse, which we're launching here as well.
Mhm.
The TIFF Tribute Awards is our big fundraiser. So, in addition to handing out awards every year, it's also our opportunity to raise money for our year-round activities, including our Share Her Journey campaign to bring the work of women creators in film to the fore, and our year-round work to just increase diversity on screen as well.
I love that. Now, of course, there are a lot of big named movies that are going to be premiering at TIFF, but then sometimes there are those under the radar movies. Like, for example, there was a little movie that I saw at TIFF last year called American Fiction, which kind of came out of nowhere, went on to win the People's Choice Award, and writer director Corey Jefferson took the Oscar stage, winning the Best Screenplay Award. I know it's hard to predict these things, but for people who are putting their schedules together and coming to the festival, what are some of the under the radar films that people might not be aware of that they should definitely be checking out?
It's a great question. I think coming in last year, a lot of people had not heard of American Fiction. Of course, they knew Jeffrey Wright, who's the lead, but might not have heard the director's name, Cord Jefferson. That all changed when the film did so well after its premiere here, and then went on to, of course, to be an Oscar-winning film. The platform section, our sidebar competition, is really where you often find these discoveries. This year, we're opening the platform section with a film called Daniela Forever by director Nacho Vigilando. Henry Golding is one of the stars of that film. So I think that's certainly one to look out for as well. I would say also, I would look out for some of the films from, further afield. There's a great film called We Live in Time, a UK production by John Crowley. You'll know the stars, though, Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield. That's certainly one to look out for. And I'm definitely recommending the Mike Leigh film Hard Truths to everybody as well. There's so many films once you look a little deeper into the
Mhm.
lineup, and a lot to see. And also, you can find films that really match your interest, your taste, and stretch yourself a little bit. See something that you might not have expected to discover, and just see if you can surprise yourself with how you react to a new film as well.
I absolutely love that. I've always had a tremendous amount of respect for you and how you handle the festival. I want to ask you on a personal note, what is it that keeps you motivated? Because you're never, it's never a halfway point with you. You're always giving that 110%, and it shows, and it trickles down through the organization, obviously through the programming team. So when you do this for the umpteenth year, but you keep doing it at such a high level, like what are some of the things that keep you motivated?
You know, It's really as simple as like the excitement that I'm feeling from you as you've gone through our lineup and what you're anticipating at the festival. That's what it is, you know. We're so fortunate. We get a chance to see some of the greatest movies in the world. We also see a lot of movies that we don't invite that maybe aren't so great, but you know, we're lucky because we get to see movies in a small group make our selection in the anticipation of exactly what you're expressing now, that
Mhm.
excitement, that thrill of seeing a movie for the first time, seeing it with other people, responding to it, talking about it, just being like riding a high on the way home from having seen a great movie that you really connected with. So when the movies meet the audience and we know what the movie is but the audience doesn't yet,
Yeah.
it's really like that never gets old. It's just one of the most rewarding things that you can do in this line of work.
I love that. And I can't stress enough what it is to experience a movie with a TIFF audience, because we're in a world right now where sometimes you go to your local theater and there might not be a lot of people there. That won't be the case at TIFF at all. There'll be a lot of people there. People at TIFF are not on their cell phones. They are locked in on the film. There's opportunities at several of the screenings for a Q&A afterwards with the filmmakers, which is something that is so rare. You're not going to get that at your local, multiplex. So there are just so many different things, and just the conversations that you have with people. Sometimes even just standing and lying with them, like, "Hey, what have you seen?" And then all of a sudden, you might be blowing up your schedule because you want to go and see that exciting film. So I get it. To that end, Festival Street. Festival Street is back. You want to take a moment and tell the good people about Festival Street?
Absolutely. Thanks to the City of Toronto and the Toronto Transit Commission, we get to shut down one of the major thoroughfares in Toronto, King Street, about 4 blocks of it for the first 4 days of our festival. And that allows us to put on a street fair that is free for everybody. We've got lots of activations, lots of experiences people can take part in on the street. You might just catch one of your favorite stars pulling up for one of the premieres. You get to sort of take in just the vibe, the feel of the festival by just being down here for it during those first 4 days, from the Thursday through the Sunday night of the festival. We've got free reign here on Festival Street, and it really is a chance just to connect with other film lovers, other people who are excited by one of the city's big events.
Excellent, excellent. Nelson, as always, I want to be respectful of your time. I got a couple of quick questions, and I'm going to let you go. Having experienced this amazing festival year in and year out, I'm not going to lie. Usually, there's that point. Maybe it's a week or so before the festival. There might be a late addition to the festival, a late movie that you're going to announce. Since it's just us two, is there anything you want to share today? Is there any news that you might want to drop?
Just
I don't
between
know.
you and
Just
me,
just
yeah.
between you and I.
um, Listen, we've got a great lineup out there. I'm going to
100%.
say that there may not be something else that drops, but I'm not going to say there is either. So I would just say stay tuned.
Okay.
That is where all the information is. Tickets are out there now, and if we've got anything new that we think is exciting, then people are going to want to see. You will hear from us very soon.
And again, just between us, I don't think you need to add anything. I think this lineup is
Yeah,
crazy as it is.
thank you.
I'm so excited. Again, so let me end this on a fun note. Okay, we're about to embark on this incredible 11-day festival. September 15th, it's going to conclude. The awards will be handed out. It'll be done. Of course, TIFF is never done because it's year round. So there's phenomenal programming at the Toronto International Film Festival all year, and you should become a member. Not just if you're in Toronto. I'm in Ottawa and I'm a member, and a proud one at that. So what I want to know from you, my good man, when this is all said and done, how do you usually unwind? Is there like a tradition that you have when the festival's over for just kind of like sitting back and being able to relax?
Yeah, well, look, if you're at the festival every year, that it is a nonstop affair, and I'm doing intros and Q&As and hosting filmmakers and going to events. And afterwards, I just unplug, it gets very quiet. I
Yeah.
might fall is almost upon us by that point, and I like to take walks in the fall air. I like to maybe get out of town for a little bit and just chill, contemplate nature, get into, like a hike or something like that. Just really get away from the craziness and the excitement and the intensity of the festival and do exactly the opposite. I will say though, the fall is going to be a busy time for us because we're busy planning something that actually is connected to Ottawa, which is a new content market for film and screen content that we're planning that'll launch in 2026. We got some great news this spring from the federal government. So there's a big investment from Ottawa in that, and we are planning all year round. In addition to the festival, the market's going to be the next big thing for us. So that's what I'm going to be working on as well this fall.
Amazing, amazing. I can't wait to have conversations with you about that. I hope to bump into you in Toronto over the next few weeks. Again, thank you so much for the time today. I don't love the word busy, but I know you got a lot going on. So the fact that you took the time to, do your hair like I did and jump on camera with me is much appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for this upcoming festival. I'm so excited. And again, all the best.
Thank you. And to you too. Take care.